and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. A letter signed by over 70 of the largest evangelical churches in Scotland calling on First Minister Alex Salmond to support the current definition of marriage has been handed in at a rally outside St Andrew's House in Edinburgh. The rally was organised as part of the Scotland for Marriage campaign, which is seeking to protect the current definition of marriage. Signatories to the letter addressed supporters, with David McCarthy having this message for the Scottish Government.
Marriage is foundational, and so much else rests upon it. You cannot radically alter the definition of marriage without it having knock-on effects on so much else in our society.
Jeremy Middleton, who handed over the letter inside St Andrew's House, hopes it will be effective in persuading the government to keep the current definition.
We hope that by addressing a letter to the First Minister, signed by some 70 ministers of substantial congregations throughout Scotland, there will be an awareness of just how seriously this is being viewed by many, many folks throughout our societies who really have their feet on the ground in the local communities.
One of the main concerns of any redefinition is the implication for what is taught in schools.
I think there is a genuine concern about what children will be taught in schools. When Section 28 was repealed, the Scottish Government at the time produced a circular which assured that marriage would be taught in sex education, and marriage was clearly understood to be between a man and a woman. If this change to the definition of marriage happens, then children will be taught that marriage can be between a man and a woman or between two people of the same sex, that it's an arbitrary concept that can be redefined at will.
And Alex MacDonald said there is a real need to keep up the pressure on the government.
I think everybody, whether in churches or outside churches, who are concerned about this should keep on making representations to their MSPs and to the government in general in every way they can, and certainly Scotland for Marriage will be continuing to work in that direction.
Trevor Phillips, head of Britain's equality watchdog, has branded moves to stop a local council from saying prayers as nonsense. Earlier this month, the National Secular Society went to the High Court in a bid to stop Bideford Town Council saying prayers at the start of its meetings. But Mr Phillips said he was shocked when he heard the NSS wanted to use the Human Rights Act to sue Bideford Council, asking what was their alleged crime: compelling unbelievers to walk over hot coals, forcing small children to recite chunks of scripture before breakfast? No, it was for taking a democratic decision that those councillors who wished to follow the long tradition of saying prayers before meetings in the council chamber could do so. This is nonsense on stilts. Head of Research and Development at Tesco, Nick Lansley, has branded Christians as evil for resisting the redefinition of marriage to allow for same-sex marriage. The comments, which have now been removed, appeared on Mr Lansley's profile page on the photo-sharing website flickr.com. He said, "I'm also campaigning against evil Christians, that's not all Christians, just bad ones, who think that gay people should not lead happy lives and get married to their same-sex partners." Mr Lansley's comments follow the recent incident involving Adrian Smith, a Christian housing manager from Manchester, who was demoted and had his salary slashed by 40% for posting the moderate comment "an equality too far" on Facebook, and linking to a BBC article about moves to host same-sex civil partnerships in churches. The House of Lords has debated new government regulations which allow civil partnerships to be registered in religious premises. The debate on the regulations, which apply to England and Wales, was secured by Baroness O'Cahoyne. Many churches had expressed concerns that they may face legal pressure to register civil partnerships against their will. Following reassurance from the Government Minister Lord Henley, peers did not press the motion to a vote. The government said for the first time that churches which opt out of the scheme are fully safeguarded by Section 202 of the Equality Act. Over 2/3 of Britons think that parents or guardians should be the main people responsible for teaching their children about sex, a new poll has found. The poll, conducted by Angus Reid Public Opinion, found that 67% of those asked believed parents or guardians should be primarily responsible for teaching sex education to children and teens. The news comes after plans last month to introduce compulsory sex education in primary schools failed in the House of Lords. Currently, the law maintains that decision-making about sex education in schools lies in the hands of head teachers and school governors. Christmas is about giving, a childhood advisor to the government has said. Reg Bailey, who is also Chief Executive of the Mothers' Union, made the comments as he welcomed the message of a TV advert for John Lewis. The seasonal ad depicts a young boy waiting for Christmas Day, not so that he can open his presents, but rather so he can give a gift to his parents. Mr. Bailey said the advert got close to the Christmas message of being about giving, but he also cautioned that parents should spend their money wisely, saying, "This is a stressful time of the year. They feel as though they have to purchase expensive gifts because that's what all the other children have." A Christian charity which rebrands counterfeit clothing and then redistributes them to the homeless has managed to convince 90% of British Trading Standards authorities to hand over all the fake designer clothes they seized to them. Lincolnshire-based charity His Church has even received calls from America, with jeans giant Tommy Hilfiger wanting its help. The charity relabels the clothing with their His logo using industrial sewing machines which had been impounded by UK customs officials from counterfeit clothing gangs. Charity coordinator Richard Humphrey says that Christmas is a great time to give quality clothes and help restore hope and dignity.
Some charities, just because of what's been given to them, they can only give out second-hand clothes, hand-me-downs. Sometimes they can be quite grubby. The difference here is because these clothes are brand new, we've been able to rebrand them and put our own His logo on. We can give great quality, brand new clothes that, rather than removing someone's dignity in a difficult situation, can actually be part of restoring someone's dignity.
Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.